What if you could stand in the middle of life's storm and feel nothing but calm? I'll admit, the first time I stumbled across Stoicism, I thought it was cold, almost brutal. Teachings about indifference to fortune, hardship as an opportunity, emotions as obstacles, harsh stuff. Yet, something clicked. I was tired of riding emotional roller coasters, of waking up to a day dictated by whatever news headline went viral or whoever snapped at me in traffic. I wanted a mind that stayed steady when everyone else panicked. I wanted to be emotionally untouchable. That's what I call Dark Stoicism, not the sanitized be grateful version you see on Instagram, but the unflinching discipline of ancient Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, who faced war, exile, betrayal, and still kept an inner citadel untouched by chaos. So, how do you build that fortress? I'll walk you through what worked for me, lessons I learned the hard way, and small habits you can start today. No motivational fluff, just honest tools for real resilience. First thing in the morning, before your phone lights up your face, spend 2 minutes in brutal self-honesty. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen today? If you're late, lose your job, someone you trust lies to you, name it, write it down. The Stoics called this premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. It sounds grim, but here's the twist. Once you've pictured your worst case, you neutralize its power, all because your mind has already faced it before reality can surprise you. You'll be amazed how a tiny practice resets your whole day. Next, whenever you feel the familiar tug of anger, someone cuts you off in traffic, your friend ghosts your message, don't vent or blame. Pause. Remind yourself, they aren't truly hurting you, they're just human, driven by their own confusion. Marcus Aurelius wrote that people act out of ignorance, not malice. You see that driver as hostile, but what if he's rushing to the hospital? That mental shift from, they did this to me, to they're suffering like I do, deflates anger before it inflates your heart. But what about sadness? Loneliness? Those aren't just tailwinds of logic, they're deep currents. Here's what helped me. Treat those feelings as messages, not masters. When sadness rolls in, I imagine it as a wave. I let it crash, notice its weight in my chest, and then let it recede. I don't journal platitudes, I journal questions. Why do I feel this? What expectation broke? That's it. No shame, no self-pity, just curiosity. Stoics believe that examining your soul is the highest duty. When you ask questions, you stop being dragged by emotions, you start guiding them. Of course, life throws bigger punches than traffic jams or dropped messages, health crises, betrayals, massive failures. In those moments, Stoicism can feel like telling someone in a burning building to chill. But I learned this. It's not about denying pain, it's about choosing your response. The Stoics called this the discipline of assent. You acknowledge reality. Yes, I'm in pain. Yes, I'm betrayed. But then you choose your next move. That may be asking for help, setting a boundary, or simply surviving minute by minute. You don't pretend it doesn't hurt. You refuse to let the hurt define you. Another cornerstone of Dark Stoicism is the morning ritual of negative visualization. Only this time, I don't just imagine my own misfortunes, I imagine others as vividly as my own. I picture my partner hurting, a friend failing, a parent sick. It sounds counterintuitive. Why invite more suffering? But empathy expands your field of vision. You see your problems as part of a vast human landscape. Your tiny annoyances shrink. You stop whining about trivial setbacks because you've already sat with the pain of 1,000 imagined tragedies. This practice doesn't make you a heartless machine. It makes you a witness, able to hold sorrow without drowning in it. If you want to test your clarity under pressure, try the Stoic pause. The next time someone criticizes you, don't fire back. Count silently to 5. In that simple gap, you gain the freedom to choose a response that serves you rather than your ego. Anger wants you to lash out. Pride wants you to defend your image. But wisdom says, is this worth my peace? 9 times out of 10, it isn't. You'll keep your dignity and avoid burning bridges. Building emotional armor isn't just mental, it's physical. The Stoics swam in cold water, fasted, endured heat. I'm not suggesting extreme deprivation, but try a cold shower. Feel the shock, welcome it. As your body fights to save warmth, your mind fights to save comfort. When you conquer the cold, you prove to yourself you can conquer discomfort of any kind. In my life, those days of cold showers became days when a tough conversation or a looming deadline felt manageable. All of these practices, premeditatio, negative visualization, the pause, the cold shock, start small. But bit by bit, they become the architecture of your psyche. You don't become unfeeling, you become untouchable. You feel, you suffer, you live, but you aren't broken by your feelings. In the real world, this shows up in subtle ways. I used to dread presentations. My heart raced, my voice shook. Then I began seeing the audience not as judges, but as fellow humans who wanted to learn. I counted to 5 in the wings, pictured their kindness, and stepped on stage with a calm that surprised me more than them. That same calm helped me navigate painful job losses, family conflicts, and creative blocks. Here's the bottom line. Emotional untouchability isn't about building concrete walls around your heart. It's about knowing that even the strongest walls must have doors. Stoicism is about mastery, not denial. You allow your emotions in, greet them with compassion, then choose whether to let them stay. You wield them like tools, not weapons aimed at you. If you've ever felt at the mercy of your own moods or the whims of the world, you know how liberating this can be. You wake up each day knowing you have a toolkit for stormy weather. You still feel the wind, but you don't get blown away. This path isn't for everyone. It demands honesty, discipline, and the willingness to look at your own darkness. But if you're ready to step into the arena of your mind, to train yourself in the ancient art of emotional sovereignty, you'll discover a strength you didn't know you had. You'll become the calm within the storm, the unmoved mover in a world of chaos. And if you want more, if you're hungry to learn how to apply these principles in every corner of your life, relationships, career, creativity, subscribe and turn on notifications. Share this with someone who still trembles at life's unpredictability. Let's build a community of minds that don't just survive the storm but stand at its center, eyes open, heart steady, unshaken.